Amazing. Good afternoon, and I am so happy to talk with Sonya today. And Sonya is our #1 seller for the month of February with $13,033.34 in sales. And Sonya came here a couple of months ago. Has it been a couple of months ago already? That we had a little retreat here, and she was struggling a little bit over the holidays with her schedule. And look what's happened. So I wanted to reach out to her, first of all, to recognize the fabulous month she had for February, and then to share the inspiration that she has to share about, we all have an up and down. We all have ups and downs. And so, Sonya, congratulations. Always proud of you, even when you have a rough month, because we all have rough months. But it's, when you pull yourself up by the bootstraps, like you have, backstraps. I think that's
Thank you.
I think that's a meat term.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks for taking some time to talk with us. And so tell us a little bit about where you were and what happened, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what you did to have the great month that you've had.
Okay. So December, usually I have like a jam-packed December, like the first 2 weeks, and then I take the rest off, but it did not work out that way. And I scheduled some parties for the third week, and they didn't go really well because people weren't really into shopping that, late in the month for December. So that kind of, messed with my mind. That messed with me mentally into January. And I was just like, it just wasn't going like I wanted it to. I wasn't getting the bookings like I wanted to, like I normally was. I wasn't doing the extra things to get bookings like I normally was. And then we went to your house and did the retreat and got some really good ideas from all different people, and just being around other people who are like me and who've had ups and downs, and it just inspired me. And then we did a couple of activities at your house that really inspired me. Seeing where I am and where I could be just based on different activities that I wasn't doing. So honestly, what I did was I reached out to a couple of friends. One had a party for me like maybe 3 years ago, but my little boy and her daughter were going together. And so I reached out to her and we turned it into a fundraiser, and it ended up being almost a $2,000 party. And I got a booking, only one booking from that, but I'm still working on it. I reached out to another friend that I'm in a Bible study with, and she booked a party. From her party, I only got one booking, but that booking turned into my new recruit. So and we got a bunch of bookings from her party. So that was really good to help her get off and running. But then I also went back and did Everybody Wins in a couple of parties, and I haven't done that in months. I don't like to do it all the time because then people are like, this is all that she does. So I did that in a couple of parties and got some bookings. And then once I got more bookings on my calendar, I was like, okay, let's do this, because I don't know. It depends on the month as to how many parties I want to have a week. But I was doing 6 to 8. And I was like, I just think that's too many for me personally, because I do work another job, not every day, but sometimes. So I decided to shoot for 5 bookings a week, because if I have 5 and one of them flakes out, then I still have 4, and if another one flakes out, I still have 3. But after talking with some other Pampered Chef people, I can do better with less. Now my month's not going to be a $20,000 month probably with just 4 parties a week, but for me, I've been live in most of my parties, which I did not do before. My parties, I set them up earlier in the week so they can start inviting, but it goes live on Facebook on Friday. And so I've got a reminder in my phone every Friday to go live. And I could just record a video and play it, but I don't want to do that. I want to go live and like, hey, it's Friday. What are you guys doing? And that gets interaction starting. Like some interaction starts Thursday night because I have a game, but my video I've learned gets interaction. Plus I do something at the end. Last Friday I said, what are you guys having for dinner tonight? What are you doing for dinner? Comment below and get 5 tickets. And that's how I know that people watch the video, because they commented. Another thing that I did, I've also been trying to shorten my parties. So normally I set it up on Monday and we do, invite Monday through Thursday for it to go live on Friday. I shortened that. So now I set it up on Tuesday and actually not until later in the day on Tuesday. So far today, they've gotten one text message that says, hey, thank you so much for booking a party. We're going to have a great time. And then my host coaching will actually start tonight with telling them to invite and all that stuff. So I shortened my party by a day. I'm having less parties a week, and I don't know if that's what you wanted me to tell everybody.
Sure.
But it gives me more time to focus on those hosts and those parties. I added a few different things to my post my party template. I went in and added a lot more interactive things. And even when I post some of the products, and I think I know other people do this, but I wasn't doing it a lot. In almost probably like maybe every other or every couple of posts, there's a question in it. So like if I'm showing the new sauces, it was, hey, which one would you guys try first? Just to get interaction so that I can get the algorithms moving. And that's worked really well because now I'm spending a lot of time going through and commenting back to back, but I have time to do that because I'm only doing 4 parties. The other thing that I did, so going live every Friday to tell them how the party's going to work, shorten my pre-party stuff by one day. And then the other thing that I've been doing, y'all, Karen knows this, but I don't cook a whole lot. It is not my forte, but when I do cook, it's usually something easy and something that I can share with other people. So I haven't done it in like a week because honestly, I don't think I've cooked anything interesting. We had cereal for dinner last night. I worked all day long and Billy was tired and I was just like, this is what we're doing. But I've gone on my business page and gone live when there was something interesting that I was cooking for dinner. And they were always really easy. It was like spaghetti in the multi-cooker. It was barbecue pork chops in the multi-cooker, something else in the multi-cooker. Anyway, just really easy. And so people who had the multi-cooker were messaging me and they're like, oh my goodness, thank you. I hadn't used it before, was kind of nervous about it. So I'm giving them something. And not one time did I ask for a booking. I think in one of my videos, I did mention like being a consultant, but I wasn't trying to get anything from those videos, if that makes any sense. I wasn't trying to get sales. I was just trying to share with people what I was doing. I think the sweet basil, I used it in one of them and I was like, this is going away if you want to get it before it's gone, but that was it. So I go live on my business page and then I have shared it in every party that I have going on that week. I also shared it in my VIP group and I've got comments on it as well. So like I'm building people up for that multi-cooker. And so, hey, have a party this month and you can get it for 60% off. I think I did mention that in one of the lives that I did, but then it'll also build up for next month. So that's what I did.
It sounds like I've got some questions. So you said you go live in your business page, but you share it in your party. So you're not really going live in each party.
No.
Perfect. So you're using your time very effectively.
And I go live in each party on Fridays to do my introduction.
But
then you're right. I just go live on my business page and share it. What I've thought about doing, and I may do this week, but see, this requires planning, and I don't always have time to plan ahead of time when it comes to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
But my thought was kind of like Tuesday nights when Pamper Chef does their Pamper Chef Live, announce it and let people know that I'm going to do it, and then direct them to my business page in every party. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like if I've got 4 parties going on this week, pump it up. Hey, I'm going to go live, Wednesday night at 5:00. Be sure to be sure to like my business page and check it out there.
Yeah. That's what I do.
But then still share in case people didn't do it.
Yeah, that's what I do with my live at 5. I try to drive them to my VIP group. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh my gosh, and I had other questions too, and I'm trying to remember. You do Facebook parties, or do you do table?
I do.
No table at all.
I do all Facebook parties. I do have one table party set up because she wanted to do a catalog party. And so instead of just giving her the shopping link, I set up a table party and shared it that way. But I've got to do some follow-up with her.
Okay.
But that's my next step is
Okay.
creating a table party for every party. And if nothing else, at least using that as a shopping link in my Facebook parties.
Okay, I love that approach. Back to when you share. So I love what you said about, doing the live and then what you're doing, because you're not asking for bookings and you're not asking for things during your demo, which I think is so brilliant. But when they're commenting and then in the background, that is where you're developing the
Yeah.
relationship and booking the parties.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. I even had somebody, we went to a basketball game at my son's school. My kids aren't playing. We just go to support the community.
Uh-huh.
But one of my friends asked me about an Instapot. Now she doesn't have the Pampered Chef one, but she has an Instapot. And I was like, well, if I can help, anybody do anything, that's great. And she's like, I've been scared to use it. And I was like, well, if you're scared to use that one, you can always get one of ours and see how it works. But I have people like talking to me like offline about the Facebook lives. And I'm sure like a lot of people have already experienced that. I just don't go live that often. Um, in the beginning, it's because I was a little nervous. Now I'm not nervous. I just have to make sure that my area that I'm setting up in is clean and neat and that I've got everything prepared and that I know what I'm going to do. Like tonight, we're supposed to have hamburger steak, but I don't know if I'm going to get that done before they have practice.
Okay. And then I mean, you're just so real. I mean, you have a busy family. You work outside of Pampered Chef as well. You're running a fabulous Pampered Chef business. You have a great growing team, and you know, and you've showed that. First of all, sometimes we struggle. Sometimes then we work it up till we succeed. And you're trying things. Again, you didn't like to go live. Now you're going live, and you're seeing the benefit. You're seeing the benefit of that. But I tell you what I really love hearing is that you're doing your live on Friday, but when you're doing your demos, and then you're posting in your party, and then you're watching from the comments in that. I mean, that
Mm-hmm.
is like such a a very effective way to use your time, Sonya. And then taking in where you're spending your time is in the follow up. You know.
Yep, that's right. And depending on when I do it, again, like I don't do it on a certain day every week. It's just when it works out and the recipe,
Mhm.
when everything works out and I can do it. So sometimes my parties overlap because they start on Fridays. The group starts on Friday and it ends on Wednesday. But that following week, we've already got the group set up on Tuesday for the next week's. So there may only be like 10 or 12 people in there so far when I go live, but I'm sharing it to the parties that are going on and the ones that are just starting.
Oh wow.
So, and
Okay.
even if people join later, I mean, they can still scroll through and still watch it.
Right. And you can use those over and over again too,
Yeah.
which is really, again, it's just working smarter, not harder. And I want to just talk for a second about then when people comment, um, do you immediately take it to back, go back with private message, or do you comment a little bit in the? I know that this sounds like very minute detail, but I think there's a lot of people that don't get how to. There are some people who would just have a hard time communicating even in life. And now we're needing to learn how to communicate, virtually and in parties to find out what is effective. So when somebody comments on what of your videos that you've posted from your business page, and so when someone comments, what do you do? Do you comment with them right there on the page, or do you already go to the private message?
I typically comment right there because I want other people to see how our conversation's going. Now, if it's something that I need to say separately, I will.
Okay.
Um, but like I had a whole full-blown conversation with one of my past hosts, and like she's had like 3 or 4 parties with me, and she's got the multi-cooker, and we just kind of commented back and forth. But then it got other people like in our conversation. So I take it, I'll do it private message if I'm like trying to get a booking, but she had literally just had a party. There was no reason for me to try to get any. She had just had a party and then somebody booked from her and she was in that party at that time. So there wasn't any reason for me to message her outside. Um, and one of them was the friend that I had asked to have a party, which I haven't done that in forever, by the way. I haven't reached out to my personal friends and family in a while to have parties because usually if I'm doing my party groups right, I'm getting my bookings from there. But when you run low, you ask people. So I've got one ending tomorrow that another friend of mine is doing. Um, and so I'm trying to get some bookings from hers.
Well, and what again, what you have just said is really pretty interesting because a couple of months ago, you were in the you were in the low in the bookings, but you didn't. It sounds like you didn't reach out to your friends and family. It looks like you developed it from your business contacts. You
Well,
know,
3 people I reached out to outside of my contacts. Like,
okay,
two, well, but 2 of them were people who had had parties with me before. So, I mean, I don't know how you want to classify that.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
all I'm saying is you didn't rely on your you know,
no, you can't rely on your friends and family because I
no.
was extremely excited that all 3 of them said yes, because that's not normally how that works.
Yeah, well, but hey, but you did reach out, and of course, you still have that, especially with our new catalog coming out. You have that. So, but I just, again now, and you'd had 5 $1,000 parties, and what do you think is the secret there?
I think like I had, because I didn't, when I have 8 parties, like, and maybe other people have better systems in place, but I don't feel like I'm connecting with anybody like one on one, which is really hard to do online anyway. So when I had less customers, guests, and hosts, I had more real conversations with them. Like in the party groups, some of those real conversations happen like back and forth in comments, which usually we ended up having a private message conversation about it. But I had more time to spend with my host. I
Mhm.
did my regular host coaching because I already have that set up in Project Broadcast, but I did extra stuff. So like when they, hit the next rewards level, I was like, oh my gosh, did you see this? You're now at $400. Um, and then like for this month, because we're trying to get them to 650 so they can get that extra $100. Hey, did you see this? You're almost at $600. We just need, whatever else to get there. And hey, what's on your wish list? Because I know we're supposed to find out what's on their wish list and kind of use that, but I haven't been doing that in a while just because I haven't had the time to.
Yeah.
So I can tell you right now, one of my hosts is getting like I can tell you right now, at least 3 of my hosts what they're trying to earn from their parties.
Mhm.
And I couldn't have done that 2 months ago.
Okay, that's great. Well, and really, in all fairness, you've tweaked some things, and you need to get used to that. And that takes a little bit of time too. And getting used to that. But you do track. Do you use a tracker? Do you track your? I know that you do.
So I track my parties. I don't track my guests
Oh,
as
okay.
much as I don't track my guests. I'm not even gonna lie.
Because I've
Um,
seen you do it though. I've seen you do it.
yeah, I've done it just a little bit, and that's probably next on my list.
Okay.
Well, tables next, and then maybe that.
Okay.
But I track all my parties.
Hmm.
Like every single thing that happens in my parties. It's kind of like a to-do list, but then it also tracks who the early bird winner is, who the final winner is. Oh, something else I did, Karen. Like I'm just telling you, like December and January was just bad altogether. I was behind on picking winners. I was behind on a lot of things. And I wasn't, never did I think, let me quit or step back. Never did I think that. It was just like a blah 2 months.
Hmm.
So I went back into parties. That's where I did some of my everybody wins. But in parties that didn't have a whole lot of people, instead of just announcing the winner and mailing them something, I announced it, but said, please message me to claim your prize. And so then I tried to turn that into a booking. And some of them did. Actually, I'm starting a fundraiser. Um, her host coaching starts today. That'll start on Friday. Um, and we're going to have that fundraiser kind of go all year long because it's actually for a Christmas project that she's doing with her church. But so if I could, instead of just announcing the winner and sending them a prize, I said, message me. And then I kind of did the conversation. Hey, if you have a party, you can get something for $15.
Hmm.
So
You know what? Sonya, I just really appreciate your tenacity, and I also appreciate we don't have to have all our I's dotted and T's crossed. We just have to keep persisting and trying new things and having faith and putting one foot in front of the other. And your message is just so real. I mean, you live a busy life and you're just doing what you can to make your business successful, and you're succeeding. So, but thank you so much for taking the time to share your experience, and and just keep up the great work. It's fun to
You're
be number
welcome.
one. It's fun to be number one, isn't
Yes, it was very, very nice.
it?
I do have a competitive edge. So when I'm down like on the list, I'm like, are you serious? Like I know that I can most of the time. Lori and Bonnie and Aaron typically beat me out. But so I think this may be the first time that I've been ahead of them. Maybe. No, I think I've done it once before, but I've been with Pampered Chef almost 4 years. So
Yeah, yeah,
I
you
should
did.
call Aaron and be like, hey, did you see this?
Yeah, there you go. I mean, hey, it's all in fun. It's all in
And
fun.
yeah, it's not like mean, like,
No,
especially like
no.
Bonnie Sue and I are like, hey, what'd you do this month? What'd you do? And it's like it's like nice competition that
Yeah,
pushes us.
right,
So
right. I love that. I love that. So, well, listen, I'm gonna let you go make dinner. Thank you so much for your time again. Congratulations. We're so proud of you.
thank you.
Love you, sweetie. Have a great night.
Bye, you too.